A couple days ago, I posted a video on the channel discussing if Gears of War E-Day is going to have wall bounce in the upcoming game in October. Obviously, after watching the Xbox Showcase and Direct, within that video, I specifically said at the end of it that Gears of War E-Day will have wall bouncing because wall bouncing is just simply part of Gears of War's identity. Well, earlier today, IGN posted an article on their page discussing a lot of things regarding Gears of War E-Day, and the big thing that stood out in the article was mechanics. And with the new sliding and jumping mechanics in Gears of War E-Day, I'm honestly, in my opinion, excited to try these new mechanics out. But not only is sliding and jumping an exciting new feature coming to the game, there's a bunch of existing core mechanics that are going to go through a major haul upon release as well. As you guys see in this section of the article here, you will see a shift in movement mechanics. If you're at all interested in competitive Gears of War and have seen the latest trailer, you'll know that things are about to change. And not just because we're getting new guns and maps, roadie running is transformed in Gears of War E-Day. Instead of Marcus and crew hunkering down and running with the camera closer to their back and the screen shakes, E-Day pulls back as they run forward. Cersei then says there's a whole bunch of reasons for the change, but a lot of it has to do with the variety we have on traversal spaces. We have small and large spaces, and this just lets you play with the battlefield so much more. You can see what's going on, you can move a lot more naturally. So yes, roadie running being a core mechanic of Gears of War is getting a huge change. We are not hunkering down anymore, and obviously, continuing on with this article, this comes with new other options when it comes to movement, including slide, jumping, and new cover mechanics. All these changes, though, mean some mechanics of old won't be the same, specifically wall bouncing. Continuing on being quoted, we have forms of wall canceling in there, but you won't be able to do wall bouncing the way you've done it in the past. There's a lot of other things you can do. There are ways to play with it. It's not entirely gone. We think we found a balance in terms of how that really feels. But back to my catchphrase, it is a new game. If you come back expecting it to play exactly like the previous games, it won't be that way. It will probably be an adjustment, but it is also built around the same mechanics. And personally, after hearing that news, I'm honestly going to say that this was much needed when it comes to Gears of War. Even though I'm a huge wall bounce fan, I am grateful that the Coalition is taking their time with this game as it's been in development for some time now. And the fact that the Coalition is kind of changing things, after Gears of War's technically been the same for the last 20 years, I could kind of see where, from a business standpoint, that Gears of War needed to be changed. I mean, if you think about it, you know, we just have our core fan base and the Gears diehards that will play this game no matter what version of it is. But Gears of War has kind of always been the same, even though each game plays differently. So with the Coalition wanting to grow and trying new things out and taking that risk to bring new players while still keeping the old to what made Gears feel like Gears in the first place, I think that's a huge route and a successful route at that the Coalition is trying to go in. Although it is risky, I feel like the Coalition will honestly pull this off. So I guess the good news is, wall bouncing is not necessarily completely gone. We'll just have a huge revamped version of it, and that's perfectly okay with me. Although wall bouncing is a fun feature for me to use in-game, I'm not necessarily talking about just spamming it and getting away with the craziness that comes with the wall bounce. Wall bouncing to me means having good movement, and when I say the good movement, I really honestly mean by wall bouncing in 1v3 situations or using wall bouncing to evade shots and do it smartly to outplay your opponent. I'm not specifically talking about just spamming it to look crazy and have luck on my side to get the kills I want. I'm specifically talking about it from a huge IQ standpoint when it comes to competitive gaming. So although it may seem like wall bouncing is completely gone, seeing a somewhat new version of it while having a new sliding mechanic and jumping in the game, I honestly can't wait for, and I'm excited to try both those things out. And even if that means we have to get rid of the traditional wall bouncing, I'm still glad to hear that there's somewhat still of a wall bounce in the game. We'll just have to wait until the beta to then try it out. Now, my personal opinion with how things look so far as gameplay, I'm not going to lie to you guys, Gears of War E-Day honestly looks like a very good, fluid game, but it also kind of gives me a huge resemblance of other games, such as, mainly to me personally, Fortnite. And when I say Fortnite, I'm not talking about cranking 90s. I'm specifically talking about the current Fortnite mechanics such as sprinting and sliding on the ground. And based on the footage you guys see currently on your screen, you can kind of get an idea how Gears of War E-Day might feel and how sliding and sprinting would look in Gears of War E-Day. Now, the only thing I would not like to see when it comes to Gears of War E-Day, the spam sliding, which I don't think would be possible in Gears of War E-Day, because Gears of War E-Day looks like a heavy game, and it looks like everything has to be done with intention, as also stated by the directors and creators of the game. So that's a good feature to see. But games do have exploits, and if they have a new version of a wall bounce along with the sliding mechanic, people will find ways to exploit those things. And the worst thing that could happen to Gears of War E-Day with the sliding mechanic would be to spam slide. Now, the only thing that worries me when it comes to the new roadie run feature is, are they getting rid of the potential of roadie strafing? And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, you could typically roadie run in Gears of War by moving your left stick to left to right while holding your A button to then roadie left or right. It kind of creates a play style to where you're sprinting left and right and dodging shots instead of using that bouncing feature. So yeah, I'm curious to see what they do in the terms of that aspect when it comes to the new roadie run, and if roadie strafing is still going to be a thing but just look entirely different, or there's going to be a whole new version of the roadie strafing as well. Regardless of the fact, I am super excited of all these changes they are making with Gears of War E-Day. The fact that they're willing to just go to these extents and take the risk to then just draw new players to the franchise, I'm honestly super ecstatic for. I honestly can't wait to see new players touch this game. And the fact that there's Gears of War players out there that have played Gears of War before and not wanting to return because of how hard it is to wall bounce, it's kind of cool to see that the Coalition is taking a different approach and taking a risk on trying something new to then hopefully bring those players back that stopped playing the game because of a simple mechanic, but also bring them back and spread the word of how good this game is if they pull off this new mechanic system. And on top of that, possibly having players come across to this game from games like Fortnite, Arc Raiders, Halo, Call of Duty, just because of a slide mechanic. The sliding mechanic is honestly a very meta thing in every game out right now. So if Gears of War can pull this off while still sticking to Gears of War's roots, man, I don't even know what to say. I may be jumping the gun too early, but this could possibly be the best Gears of War game ever. Yes, I'm saying that. I know people might disagree with me as a former player just because, the game is not out yet. We don't know how it plays like, and they're getting rid of a lot of stuff while implementing new. But I honestly trust the Coalition this time around. I'm a huge Gears of War fan. Yeah, and I'm going to continue to ride that hype train because honestly, it looks like the Coalition is taking this very, very serious, and they really want to make a good game this time around. So all we can do is just wait for the beta, and most importantly, wait for the game to drop October 6th. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you guys think this was a smart move by the Coalition, or do you guys think we should still have the old stuff in the game while implementing new? It seems like they're doing a mixture of both. Again, you guys let me know what you think, what you like, what you guys don't like so far from what you've seen from the showcase, along with the interviews, podcasts, and articles that have come out. And other than that, just be sure to subscribe to this channel as more content comes. I will be posting and be updating you guys on the latest Gears of War E-Day information. Other than that, it's been your boy Emmy, also known as EMISSIVE, and I'll see you guys on the next one.